important item on this list is making sure that your in-text citations and works cited entries are included and formatted correctly. We have to make sure they are included, otherwise your paper is considered plagiarized. Okay, in the finding sources lesson, you should have already created your works cited entries, so you can literally just copy paste those bad boys right into your essay. I'm going to pretend that these are the two sources that I found in my finding sources lesson, and I have pasted them in here. The first thing I will do after pasting them in is press enter on my keyboard a few times because our works cited entries should start on the next page. I like to start with the works cited entries and then create the in-text citations from there. Next thing we need to do is include a title. So I centered my cursor and my title will be works cited. Notice I'm not making this bold or large or underlined. I don't have a little colon afterwards. Okay, it's just works cited. We want to make sure this is all in the same font as the rest of my paper. So I click and drag, and then I want to make sure I change it to Arial, make sure it's 12 points. I also need to make sure it's double spaced, just like the rest of my paper. Now, two more things we need to do with these works cited entries. One is put them in alphabetical order. So we are looking at just the first word here. So if our article has an author, then the first thing in our works cited entry will be the author's name. If it does not have an author, obviously we can't put anything there, so we just start with the next piece of information, which is the article title. So to put these entries in alphabetical order, we're just looking at this first word. So we've got athlete starts with A, or Lundman starts with L. So athlete obviously needs to go first. I'm going to cut, enter, and paste. All right. Now we need to make sure these guys have hanging indents. I'm going to click and drag, go up to Format, Align and Indent, Indentation Options. Under Special Indent, I select Hanging and Apply. Now, a hanging indent is basically the opposite of a regular indent. The first line is all the way to the left, and then any subsequent lines are indented. So again, that's click and drag to select, Format, Align and Indent, Indentation Options, under Special Indent, Hanging, and Apply. Okay, now we're ready to create our in-text citations based on these works cited entries. So nice little rule of thumb, whatever comes first in your works cited entry, that's what goes in the in-text citation. The kind of basic in-text citation format is author's last name, page number, that's it. But remember, or usually with online sources, we don't have page numbers, so we can't include that, right? So it would just be the author's last name. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to scroll up to my essay, and let's pretend that this sentence right here is from that Lundman article. There's content here that I found in that article. I'm going to click in between the last word of the sentence and the period, give it a space. I need a parentheses. I'm going to paste that last name in there, and parentheses. Now notice the period for the sentence comes after the in-text citation. All right? Easy peasy, right? Let's see how to do it for the other source. Again, I'm just going to take the first part of this. We don't need to include the entire title. It's a little bit long. So I can just take this first word, athletes. I'm going to copy that. And let's pretend that this sentence has information from that source. Again, clicking in between the last word and the period. I need a space. I need a parentheses. I'm going to paste that first word in there, quotation mark, and parentheses. All right, so when you're dealing with the title of an article, be sure you include those quotation marks. Okay, so you should have a parentheses, an open quotation mark, the first word or the first couple words of the title, then the end parentheses, end quotation mark, end parentheses, period. All right, and that's how to format your works cited entries and your in-text citations.